Please make sure that you drink plenty of liquids, water, Gatorade, Coke products, other liquids available at our flight deck store, or rather at our flight deck snack bar underneath the blue awning. Make sure that you do maintain your hydration while you're out here. Also, in case you didn't bring sunscreen or a hat with you, you can purchase those also at the flight deck store, also underneath the blue awning. We're now at about 39 minutes until scheduled takeoff time for the Blues. Plenty of time to avail yourself of all of that stuff that's going on under the blue awning. We'll talk to you again soon, shortly. We're in Mississippi, Corpus Christi, Texas, and Kingsville, Texas as well. So here we train Naval flight officers, or NFOs. These are the guys and the gals who will sit in the back seat of the high-performance jet, the F-18 Foxtrot model, the two-seater. They'll sit in the back of the E-18G Growler, the airborne electronic warfare, or the EA-6. The aircraft is known as an airborne command and control platform that flies out of Oklahoma City. Their basic training will be done in a T-6 Texan II. The Texan II is an aircraft built originally by Beechcraft, it's now Textron, here in the United States, and it's based on the design of an aircraft from a Swiss aircraft manufacturer. T-6 II is a 350-mile-an-hour fully aerobatic aircraft. It is not carrier capable. Advanced training for those going to the high-performance jets will be the T-45 Goshawk. That aircraft, we may be able to see one or two of those take off here very shortly. Joint Use Airfield, the United States Air Force trains their backseaters here as well. They call them combat systems officers. They get their wings here and then they go out to their aircraft, whatever aircraft they're going to fly in the United States Air Force, and there they'll get their training in that particular aircraft itself. Their basic trainer is also a T-6 Texan II. It's also painted in Air Force blue and white instead of the orange and white that you see the Navy Marine Corps aircraft painted in. And you'll also see their advanced trainer, which is the T-1. It's a Jayhawk. It looks a lot like a white business jet. You'll see those flying in and out of here as well, too. So now down to about 30 minutes to schedule takeoff time. Maintain your hydration, please. You got plenty of time to visit all our amenities underneath the blue awning. So what we will do is we will reserve that airspace today from 10:30 to 11:30 for a full 1 hour, not allowing any aircraft to come back into that airspace unless, of course, they're having an emergency. We're going to stop talking a little bit about that and let you take a look at the T-45 Goshawk. It's taking off from our left to our right. This was the one we mentioned before, the advanced trainer for the for the NFOs here at NAS Pensacola. This is a section. Lead aircraft will start a right turn. You can see number 2 coming in. He'll join up on his right wing, and then 2 aircraft will go out over the Gulf of Mexico to the warning area, where that airspace is also restricted. They can operate without worrying about other aircraft as well, too. As we mentioned, 10:30 starts our what we call TFR, or temporary flight restriction at the base. Our center point for the field and the center point for the team today will be the white school bus that you see off to your left front. From that point for a distance of 5 nautical miles around that, and from the ground to 10,000 feet. That's the restricted airspace today for that 1 hour from 10:30 to 11:30. The Blue Angels have 3 shows in their repertoire. Each one of them depends upon the clearance from the ground to the base of the clouds. At the present time over the field, we're looking pretty fine. We can actually do a high show now, but behind you to the south, they're building up a layer of clouds. If that moves over the field, that's going to change things a bit for us. So we'll have to wait and see when they taxi out. That's when they decide exactly what the show is they're going to fly. If they have 1,500 feet of clearance, they can do a flat show. 3,500 feet, they can do a low show, which includes rolling maneuvers. 8,000 feet, they can do the high show, which includes overhead maneuvers, such as half Cuban 8s and loops. Decision will be made by the boss as they taxi out. Intricate aerobatic maneuvers, while Blue Angels number 5 and number 6, the lead and opposing solo, will put the aircraft through their paces as they show you the tremendous capabilities of the Super Hornet. High speed, low speed, and turning radius very, very tight. And other crew members to make sure that it maintains its airworthiness. Today we're going to get a chance to see our C-130J. This airplane is affectionately known as Fat Albert, or sometimes you'll hear it called Bert. We'll get a chance to watch him put his aircraft through some really high definition performances today for a big aircraft. Before, some 71 years ago today. If you were to look at that aircraft and the aircraft taxiing out here now from a distance, you probably couldn't tell the difference. A high wing, 4 turboprop engines, and a cargo ramp at the rear of the fuselage. Of course, the aircrafts have been upgraded considerably over the 76 years. And so you will take a really close look at this airplane today to see the high-speed performance characteristics of the C-130J when he makes a high-speed pass at about 350 miles an hour. Now, the takeoffs and landing that you're going to see today are what we call combat landings, based on our problems that we ran back into in the Vietnam War in the northern part of South Vietnam, where the C-130s operated out of really small airfields, in a lot of cases where we didn't control anything other than the airfield itself. So they would try and get the aircraft as high as they could on takeoff, as soon after takeoff as possible, and keep it as high as they could before landing, crossing over the boundary of the field, keeping themselves away from small arms fire. He'll be airborne in about 1,500 to 2,000 feet. He is airborne. Now they'll retract the gear. They'll hold the aircraft down close to the runway to build up speed. And as he approaches right across from us, watches the nose of the aircraft starts to come up to about a 30-degree climb. At 1,200 feet, here's the pushover. A lot of negative G on the aircraft, folks, and everything that's not strapped in or buckled in is now on the ceiling of the aircraft. He'll build up some speed. He'll start a short left turn and then a big sweeping right turn, and we'll be coming back around over our right shoulder.
It was so crowded over there.
Now we got a little breeze.
Yeah.
Bert is normally loaded somewhere to between 30 and 40,000 pounds of equipment, spare parts for the aircraft, spare engines, and personal belongings for the team members and the team members who are actually going off to the show. They will normally leave on a Thursday before the show, while the team will absolutely be leaving them right behind them, and they'll be there waiting for them when they get to the show site.
She brought it with her? Yeah. No, that's not what I said. It's not that much. Is that
Yeah, I can't see it anymore.
Well, he can make it short.
Oh, my phone's at 7%.
Why? I thought I charged it last night. Sharon has a phone charger, you know that, right?
Yeah, I have mine. I just didn't realize it.
It's not your problem, though. Come get him up.
Very shortly now, over your right shoulder, ladies and gentlemen, Bert will be coming along, and notice this maneuver he is going to perform is known as a parade pass. Watch as he puts this big airplane into a 60-degree angle of bank as he makes this big turn on Fat Albert's parade pass.
Here it comes.
Wow.
It looks like an eagle.
That can eagle.
60 degrees, probably twice as much as you would normally see in a commercial aircraft.
What'd she say?
Kieran said that, by the way.
I think you have to donate a little more money.
As we mentioned to you, there are 3 command pilots assigned to fly this aircraft. Marine Corps #1 pilot, of course, has been with the team now. This is his 3rd year. Captain Sam Petco is the #1 pilot. Now in his second year, the second captain is Captain Isaac Becker, and the third pilot who joined the team last year, Major Josh Holman. Next maneuver will be coming from your left. This will be a high-speed pass. For the C-130J, that'll put the aircraft at about 350 miles an hour. So folks, from your left along the show line, Fat Albert's high-speed pass.
Tell Joey this is what he used to shoot for. There you go. Look, now we're getting it.
A big swinging left turn now, and he'll come back and he'll line up on the center point, at which point he'll do a maneuver known as a breakout.
What in the world?
From your left front now, lining up on center point. Very shortly, he'll be doing a breakout maneuver. Van Albert's breakout. A big right turn will put him on the downwind leg where he'll slow the aircraft down. He will drop the gear. He will load full flaps for the landing approach. We want you to notice that this will be just like the other one we were talking about, a takeoff. Instead of a takeoff, this will be the landing. Let's go to the flight line real quick.
Good morning, boss. Updated winds are 160 at 10. Altimeter 3009. For corrected altimeter 3006. For critical elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of 1200 feet. Boss squawk 1201. Front squawk 1205. Steady squawk 1206. You appear to taxi via Alpha 2 Alpha. Alpha Alpha. Hold short runway 7 right.
First voice you heard was Boss. He was going through the pre-taxi checklist. The second voice, that was the squadron maintenance officer, Lieutenant Commander Natalia Lucchetti, giving taxi instructions to the boss and how they're to line up and wait as they wait for their clearance to take off. Now back to Fat Albert again. From your left, notice he's well above the altitude you would normally be for a landing. Watch as he comes in and he passes over the boundary of the field. He'll push the nose of the aircraft over. He'll start a steep descent, and just prior to landing, he'll flatten the approach out and land the aircraft. The C-130 has turboprop engines on it. They can reverse the angle of attack of the propellers. Instead of pulling air, we'll be pushing air. This will help them stop the aircraft at about 3,000 feet. There's the pushover. There's touchdown. And the prop's reversing. Very shortly behind the cockpit now, you'll see a crew member open up a hatch, and you should come out with the Stars and Stripes. Bert will hold his position right there because very shortly our solos will be taxiing down the taxiway directly in front of him. The foreplane is going off to our left. They'll be taking position on the runway 7 right. In the fingertip formation, the back of your right hand, you can put Blue Angel number 1 on your middle finger, 2 on your ring finger, 3 on the index, and 4 on your pinky. This formation allows all 4 aircraft to take the runway at the same time, and more importantly, allows them to take off at the same time. Blue Angels number 5 and number 6 will be coming down to this end of the runway where they'll hold short until the foreplane is in the air. With the cloud cover right now, we're not really quite sure what the boss wants to do for the takeoff. We'll find out as he gets clearance for takeoff very shortly. Notice the C-130, you can actually back it up. It's got a reverse gear. Reversing propeller. Those propellers right now are not pulling air, they're pushing air. That's allowing the aircraft to back up and reverse. Numbers 5 and number 6, the lead solo, the furthest aircraft from us. Number 6, the closest. His takeoff, the number 5 aircraft will roll his aircraft 360 degrees with the landing gear still extended, while Blue Angel number 6 will accelerate to about 450 miles an hour, pull up into a vertical maneuver known as an Immelman. Now with today's cloud cover, that may be modified. Right now, as you're reporting, 1,100 scattered. With that, they would probably be able to go into the high show. If the Blue Angels do the high show takeoff, it's called a half squirrel cage. The first maneuver will be what we call a half Cuban 8. Boss will accelerate the aircraft to about 450 miles an hour, pull the nose of the aircraft up into an overhead maneuver. But instead of completing a full loop as they start down the backside, watch as he rolls that formation 180 degrees, heads back towards center point again at about 450 miles an hour to pull up into another overhead maneuver. This time it would be a full loop. Now he could do the half Cuban 8 and not do the loop. We'll just have to wait and see what he thinks when he sees the cloud cover.
There's not even anything over
Oh, updated winds at 170 at 10. We on the airfield and the airspace. You're clear for takeoff. Have a good one.
Thanks, Paul. Solos, we're clear for takeoff. Solos, ready to go, boss. Boss, we're clear for takeoff. The 170 at 10. That's a right crosswind. Check your parking brake on. Check your trim set. Check your nose straight on. Ready with the timer to go. Look at it. Let's go. Go spot it. Dynamic clicks and then let's fire up the brakes.
So he's got clearance for takeoff now. I believe he's going to leave the air formation low, which will mean that after takeoff, he'll come out of afterburner and bring the air formation around on a big sweeping left turn to come back down show line from right to left. Very shortly now, boss will call power up, smoke on, off brakes, burner now. Once the smoke disappears, you know the afterburners are lit because it's so hot behind those aircraft. From your left, ladies and gentlemen, they're rolling. Let's go flying with the Blue Angels. Airborne now, Blue Angel 4 calls gear. The gear is retracted. Watch as he slides his jet underneath number 2 into the slot. Solos can take the runway now, and they'll be getting ready for their takeoff clearance after the boss brings the foreplane back around. We just got a break into the TFR. He's got a medevac aircraft that has just entered our TFR airspace, so they're going to have to call off their program for just now. There's a helicopter in here climbing toward the Naval Hospital. And very shortly now, our Solo should be taking off. Watch as Blue Angel number 5 rolls his jet 360 degrees. Landing gear still extended. Well, they just got another terminate, so we're not going to do that again. We're going to take a break. Comes a 360-degree roll. And Blue 6 accelerating at about 450 miles an hour. Here he goes vertical.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Maverick.
About 4,500 feet, Blue Angel number 6 is inverted and is staying inverted until he departs behind us.
He's upside down.
And with the 1,100-foot layer just over the field, they've decided to go to a flat show. There'll be a little break in the action here because the foreplane had to go down pretty far to our west in order to make the turn to come back around and stay away from the Solos. But when they do come back, please notice Boss has the foreplane in a diamond formation. The maneuver they're going to perform is known as the Diamond 360 or the Diamond Parade Pass. Very shortly, our solos, one from your left and one from your right, at a closing speed at center point of about 900 miles an hour.
One from the right. Well, 900 is pretty fast.
From your left and your right, ladies and gentlemen, our solos perform the knife edge pass.
A need for speed.
With the flat show, our next maneuver will not be the rolling maneuver you would normally see at a low or a high show. It'll be a flat pass. And the diamond formation will be coming from your right to your left along show line.
Here they come. See the one.
From your right, ladies and gentlemen, the diamond flat pass. Boss has the foreplane coming from your left, once again into diamond formation. As he rolls out on show line, I want you to notice they will spread the formation out just a little bit. And then you will watch as they roll their airplanes, each one of them 360 degrees, not only at the same time, but the same rate of roll. They lose sight of each other doing this maneuver, so trust and confidence, a big part of the diamond aileron roll.
Ready.